So this is the code reflection for the alpha for the extraction. So I made more contributions in Engine than I did with code since my last reflection, but I will go over a few things, mostly to do with integrating my visual effects and UIs. So I added 2 particle systems to the weapons, an idle and a break. So what I did for those is I put them in the pickup for the idle. I just set them as active at the beginning and then turn them off when the player picks it up. That was all for the idle particles. And the pickup controller is where I have the break particles because I put it on the player's hand so that when the weapon breaks, it just plays right from the position that it's meant to. So I'm instantiating the weapon break particles when the break weapon method is called. Okay, something that I also did was on the check level completion in the level manager, we wanted to switch between, like, if you were at the last level of the game, you would see the win screen, and then if you weren't, you would go to the results and the game would keep going. So I'm essentially just checking if the current level index +1, because it starts at 0, is the maximum of the levels, or like the last level, essentially. Then we're going to win game, and then otherwise it's results. So that was a quick addition. Something else that I also did was I added some directional input to the hide interactable. So the first thing I did was I had these images that were like based on the direction of the button that you pressed, you would kind of see the UI pop up. I'm just using the vector 2s. And these are just turning them on and off with the directions. I can go to this method as well. Whatever image I'm setting it to on, it's the only one that's going to be on. And the go to confirmed direction is just having the player go to the direction that the arrow has been pointing to. And then we're just calling the player exit hiding spot event. So I can go to where I'm calling this as well. So interact input would be E. So before you pressed E to enter and E to exit, but now it's kind of E to enter, WASD to select the direction that you want to exit from, and then E again to go to the confirmed direction. So this entire script is handling the UI and this exit hiding spot is actually setting the player's new position to the one that you selected in the hide exit UI. So the player needs to be on a specific layer, and it needs to have some certain components enabled and some other checks to add for the meshes and then setting the position. So what this method is doing is I have objects for the positions that I want to exit from, so each one is kind of like a transform. I can go to it right now, I guess. So something like this table these red diamonds are indicating that you can only exit from the up position or the down position. So those are your two inputs or positions that you can exit from when this is being called. And or else it would be a invalid direction because it's physically being blocked by something. And all these find children are kind of just things that I did while testing and didn't end up relying on them, but they're just helper methods that are down here just in case. I know that I set up the initial system for the hide directional input and the hide exit directional input, both the UI and the exiting of it, but I do know that the blocking of certain positions wasn't completed by me. I know we talked about it, but I didn't end up implementing the, if you're blocked, you can't physically exit in that position. I believe it was Kyle or Ben that did that. But that was all my code additions for this sprint. So something else that I added in code was I made the enemy detection cone visual actually accurate to their detection handler logic. So I made these properties that I could use. Just so I could use them in here. So now the radius and the angle are reflecting when the mesh is being created.